in Africa, especially in Burkina Faso with this guy Traore. People are talking about him like he's some kind of hero, but let me tell you, he's pushing his country down a very dangerous path, very dangerous. He kicked out France, he's cozying up to Russia, maybe even China, and he says it's about sovereignty. But what I see is a man making deals that could turn Burkina Faso into a playground for America's enemies. We can't ignore that. The United States has invested billions of dollars into Africa over decades, trying to bring stability, security, and opportunity. And now you've got a leader who thinks he can throw it all away with one speech. They call it independence. I call it reckless. People are cheering for him because he talks tough, but talking tough doesn't build jobs, it doesn't create security, and it doesn't...
Mr. Donald Trump, former President of the United States, you have spoken of me as reckless, as dangerous, as a young man who does not understand the world. You say I am pushing Burkina Faso toward Russia, toward China, toward isolation. You say America has invested billions in Africa, and that without America, without NATO, without the so-called leadership of the West, Africa cannot survive. But let me ask you this. If America has invested billions in Africa, why are our people still poor? Why are our farmers still struggling to feed their children? Why do our young men and women risk their lives crossing deserts and oceans, searching for dignity outside their own land? If billions have truly come, then those billions have not been for Africa. They have been for corporations, for military contractors, for foreign interests. They have not fed the African child. They have not built the African school. They have not healed the African patient. They have not liberated the African mind. You call me reckless for expelling France, for rejecting foreign troops who have sat on our soil for decades. But tell me, Mr. Trump, what has their presidents brought us? Did the French bases bring security? Did the American drones bring peace? For over 60 years, foreign soldiers have been here in Africa promising protection. And yet terrorism has grown, insecurity has spread, lives have been destroyed. If this is your version of stability, then we do not want it. You say America first means keeping the world safe. But safe for whom? Safe for the corporations that drain our gold, our uranium, our oil? Safe for the armies that walk through our countries without visas, without passports, immune to our laws? Safe for the powerful in Washington while the powerless in Ouagadougou suffer? That is not safety, Mr. Trump. That is domination disguised as partnership. Let us speak truth. You accuse me of being close to Russia. You accuse me of looking to China. But who gave you the right to decide who Africa can speak to? Who gave America the authority to say that if Africa chooses its own friends, it is dangerous? You, Mr. Trump, say America first. You boast about it. You campaign on it. You built your whole brand on it. So why should Africa not say Africa first? Why should Burkina Faso not say Burkina Faso first? Why do you demand for your people what you deny for ours? This is the arrogance of empire. This is the hypocrisy of those who claim freedom for themselves but impose chains on others. You call me young. Yes, I am young, but perhaps it is time the old order of exploitation hears the voice of the youth. For 60 years, Africa has been told to wait for development, to wait for investment, to wait for respect. We are tired of waiting. The youth of Africa will no longer kneel. We will no longer beg. We will no longer ask permission to be free. You speak of terrorism, Mr. Trump. You say that without America, Africa cannot defeat it. But let me remind you, terrorism did not grow in Africa because Africans invited it. It grew because of wars imposed on us, because of chaos spread in Libya, because of weapons that flowed from NATO's adventures, because of policies written in Washington and Paris. You destabilized our region, and now you say you are the solution. This is like the arsonist calling himself the firefighter. In Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, we have chosen a different path. We have formed the alliance of Sahel states, not as puppets of Moscow, not as colonies of Paris, not as dependents of Washington, but as sovereign nations who will defend ourselves. We know our land, we know our people. We know how to distinguish a terrorist from a farmer, a criminal from a villager. Your drones cannot, your satellites cannot. You bomb from the sky, and innocent lives are lost. We fight on the ground, shoulder to shoulder with our people, and we will win. You say I am isolating Burkina Faso from progress, but what is progress if it comes at the cost of sovereignty? We do not need lectures from America about progress. Progress is not skyscrapers in New York while villages in Africa starve. Progress is not billion-dollar corporations mining our gold while our miners die in darkness. Progress is freedom. Progress is dignity. Progress is when the child of Africa can dream without chains. Mr. Trump, you said I am fiery, and you are right. I am fiery because my people burn with hunger for justice. I am fiery because my nation is tired of lies. I am fiery because Africa has been silent too long. We were told independence had come, but our banks were still controlled in Paris. We were told we were free, but our armies were trained to obey foreign generals. We were told we were partners, but we were treated as children. The fire you see is not recklessness. It is the fire of liberation, the fire of a continent that will no longer bow. You say America will not stand by while chaos spreads, but I tell you this, America has stood by while Africa bled. America has stood by while dictators were armed, while resources were stolen, while children died of preventable diseases, and worse, America has not only stood by, America has profited. So do not speak to me of chaos, Mr. Trump. Speak to me of justice. Speak to me of equality. Speak to me of respect. We are not against America. We are against domination. We are not against the West. We are against